We tried to reach out to the man who died in this pursuit. They were unavailable for comment. Micah, back to you.
All right. Hey,
hello, everybody.
Welcome back to the W Radio Show. I'm Richie King, bad man of comedy.
Yes, he is.
Well, my compadre here, my right-hand man, the commander. Today we got a special guest on. He hadn't been on in a while. Y'all might remember Mike Kenny from the Warrior's Ascent. We're going to bring him on here in just a second. We got a rant coming up. We got some cool, funny memes. We were just going over those memes before we started the show. And we got a good What Is It? And I'll show you all the What Is It right now. Take a look at that thing. You know the rules. If you can guess that accurately, the proper terminology is not cousin Puddin's Skeeter Patrol or something like that.
Yeah.
But accurately, you want 100 inches into the mystery box. Y'all know what that is. I give it a one way every year. All right. So without further ado, guys, this next guy, like I said, he's on the Kansas side of Kansas City over by Shawnee. He's a friend of the show. He's on before. He does a lot for veterans himself. I'm going to bring you on. He's going to tell you all about himself without me beating my gums. So without further ado, let's bring on Mike Kenny.
Guys, thanks so much, Richie. Commander, hey, it's great to be here. Appreciate you.
Welcome, Mike. Welcome.
Yes,
welcome back, brother. Welcome back. Before we get to you, we got a little deal on here we do where I rant. Okay? All right. This is going to be a touchy rant for some of y'all's feelings, and I really don't care. Y'all know how I am. I really don't care. But is this what we're going to do now? Go around and shooting people in office? Shooting people because we don't like them, or we're going to start shooting them? Public people? Yeah. Is this what we're going to do? Because I got a list.
Okay? Yeah. I mean,
people I don't like.
If hunting season comes open on it, hee-haw.
I mean, it's a sad time. It's another black eye for this country.
It really is.
Okay. And I know people are talking about, well, they didn't do their job. I don't know if they did their job or this is on purpose. Okay. And we'll talk about that later on the show. I'm like you.
Yeah.
I don't believe a whole lot of conspiracy theory or coincidences. Okay.
No.
Maybe.
Do not believe in that.
Maybe, but it's going to have to be awful hard to show me a coincidence. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
People are paid to do the job and they train to do the job and they don't do it. That's wrong. That is wrong when you train to do a job and don't do it. But what really aggravates me, guys, like the man or not, you're on there saying, damn, too bad we missed. You're cheering, yes, he shot. Dang it. Oh, man. Ooh, yay. No,
that's wrong.
Bogus. And I hope that these employers got a little backbone when you're on these company computers, run your suck hole, that they fire your ass immediately. Whether they're a Biden supporting company or not, you don't need this type of behavior in this country. Because remember, if you allow it for this, and God forbid it should happen to your side, keep that same energy.
Mm-hmm. You
don't want nobody shot. This is supposed to be a civilized country. We got ballot boxes for those things. We can argue if the ballots are right, if the voting system is right or not.
Yep.
I'll listen to you. I'll talk with you about it.
Ballot out there, battle it out with a debate, whatever you want to do. But
I mean, if you want to fight, we have cages. MMA. I know I was in that for a long time. Okay. Whatever happened those days, we just go out in the street and fight, then we go have a beer.
Yeah. Just
whatever happened those days.
Go out behind the barn and get it all settled up.
The politicalness in this country is based on delusions that we need to get rid of. We said on here many times on this show, we don't care if you're homosexual. We don't care if you're transgender. That doesn't bother us a bit. What pisses us off, makes us angry, is the delusions that follow these things. Okay? That's what angers us. So that's my rant for today. If it offended you, I'm sorry. But it's the truth. We don't go around shooting people just because they got orange hair or we don't like them. There would be a lot of people dead in the streets if we did that. And nobody wants that.
I know that's right.
Nobody wants that.
No.
All right, let's get on here. We got to kill. That's the blobfish. No, it's not.
Oh.
Show them on. Tiger lily. Well. Right out of the damn gate. Right out of the gate. There's no way she can get that, right? Is that what you're saying to me? Boom.
There it is.
There it was. Bearded. It's called the bearded or the tiger lily. Bearded lily. Here, look at show them on. Look at right there.
Look at that.
Over here and give it.
Right. Giddy up, go, right?
Right out of the gate. I should have known a female be knowing about them flyers, especially this one here. She's real fine at that stuff. Well, I know I got her down somewhere. Well, here, I'll just put her name down here.
There you are.
And she gets her 100. Break my heart if she wanted. I could just drive it to her house instead of mailing it. Excellent job, ladies and gentlemen. Excellent job on that. All right. BJ Reed's in the house. Thank you, also. Thank you very much, BJ. You got to behave yourself now. Time to get happy.
Dang the luck, anyway.
All right, guys, we're going to get on to our guest here. Mike, he's with Warrior Ascent. Tell us, because some people might have forgot since your last time here. Tell us all about you and Warrior Ascent, please. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Hey, I'll try to be concise. Not my strong suit, but I'm Mike Kenny. I'm a 22-year Army vet, West Point grad, year group 93. Got commissioned in the infantry. My first tour was, or my first duty assignment was with the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault, the Iron Rockasans 3187. Great, stupendous unit. Learned all sorts of great infantry tactics. Earned my bones as a platoon leader, scout platoon leader, employing snipers. That's what we were talking about before. So I know a little bit about that. HHCX, so a great unit. Worked with some great soldiers. After that, went to through Special Forces Assessment and Selection. Got selected, went to the Q course, and then spent the rest of my career affiliated in some manner with First Special Forces Group in the PACOM or Pacific Command AOR. So I was a team leader, company commander, and then I spent a stint at Special Operations Command Pacific, which is the sub-unified command under PACOM, so the Special Operations component. Then the Command General Staff College as both a student, and then subsequently went back as an instructor, School of Advanced Military Studies, so operational level planning. And that was pretty much, it for me. Shut it down after that. Upon my retirement from Fort Leavenworth as an instructor, I rolled on over to Warrior Ascent, a then fledgling nonprofit that helps veterans and first responders with post-traumatic stress. We like to say that we empower our participants to take ownership of their lives and healing with a 5-day program that provides them the tools to heal and tend the mind, body, and soul. And I like to say, in my capacity as a former Special Forces officer, our approach is really building partner capacity, much as we did, I'll say throughout my career. In other words, teaching men and women to fish versus, giving them fish per se. So it's a capacity building model. And really our goal is to put them on the path to healing and give them the tools to live, better lives. So now, 8 years later, 64 cohorts later, those are our class iterations, and 600 plus people served. Here we are. I'll throw out to everybody, our nonprofit was featured in the Journal of Psychotherapy Integration, an article written by, one of the architects of the program, Dr. Bruce Lees from KU and KU Med. And in that article, a longitudinal study, done on a multi-year data set, showed statistically significant outcomes in 3 areas: PTSD, suicidality, and risky drinking. So, the data's there, the anecdotal as well. You can go to our website at warriorsascent.org. You can go to our YouTube channel, right? Just get on YouTube and look for Warriors Ascent, and you'll see an abundance of testimonials, program videos that kind of show you what we're about and how we do what we do. There it is. I'll stop there.
Okay. That's awesome. What unit did you serve with the 101st?
I was the 3rd of the 187th. So the Iron Rockasans.
Okay. I served with the 1st of the 327th above the Rest Battalion. Okay. Cold Steel Cobras, Charlie Company.
Okay. I know.
Early 70s. Yeah, the 327th Infantry Regiment is still there. Got an opportunity to stop there couple of years ago on the way back from vacation. Wanted to see if my old unit, of course, the old World War II barracks were long since gone, but we got back in, and the regiment was still there, and got to go up battalion headquarters and down to the company and kick around. And so it's kind of cool, kind of roll back the years there a little bit. Nice to know the old unit was still active and going strong.
And Jesus is still attendance.
Yes, he is.
He's still
yes.
attendance there, so
right? No, 327. When I was there, it was 187, 327, and 50 Deuce.
And 50 Deuce.
Yep. All, great units. Screaming Eagles.
All of them. All of them were great units. I think I was number, let's see. I think class Air Assault School. I'm thinking I was number 38, class 38, number 38. I'll tell you what.
I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Holy bejesus.
Yeah. So
double digits.
And let me guess that they were UH-1s back then too, yeah?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, when they rolled that troop ladder out of the back of that CH-47 Super C at 250 feet, everything sucked up between your shoulder blades, I'll guarantee you.
No doubt.
That's quite a climb, I'll tell you what. Oh, gosh. Yeah, but Air Assault School was awesome. It was great. Yeah.
No, it was fun. And then when I was a scout, that's when they brought the fast roping online. So that was a new thing too, which was it was cool. It didn't feel quite as secure as like snap linking in, right? Rappelling,
yeah.
Because you let go of that rope and
you're gone if you don't have your belay man down there.
Right, you're going to go down.
You're down. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I finished that and then turned right around. They sent me to counter sniper school. And so I went through that. And so, yeah, I had a lot of good times at Fort Campbell. Went a lot of places, did a lot of things. It's great. Great division.
Yep.
So anyway, just enough chatter on that. We'll get back to Richie and whatever he wants to talk about.
That's what I wanted everybody to understand. I wanted to get to know Mike a little bit here. Quite a bit better, actually. Now, Mike, you said you work with a lot of PTSD, and you had it down to 3 things. You guys work on to help get rid of that. Touch on those 3 things again, and what exactly do you guys do about those 3 things? Is it like seminars, is it a lecture, education? What physical? What do you do?
Well, yeah, no, hey, I'll say explicate all of that. Now, the 3 things, those are just, I'll say, statistically significant outcomes. In terms of, call them learning outcomes, whatever it might be. So to be able to show statistically through follow-on surveys, I'll say long-lasting effects in the areas of, again, suicidality, depression, and risky drinking is good. Now, again, I'm never going to overstate and oversell and say, oh my God, everyone that comes through is healed. And, hey, of those that responded, they said that, hey, months, sometimes years later, we're still feeling pretty good. And again, I'll get a little technical, not that I'm a psychologist, but some of the rubrics that we'll use, what they call psychometric survey instruments, one of which is like the PCL5, which measures emotional and psychological well-being. And they do this, the VA uses it, et cetera. And there's a multitude of other, metrics that we use. But those are the assessment tools that initially, when the students came in, we would establish an emotional and psychological baseline on. I say we, it was really a PhD student who at the time was, all but dissertation. So her dissertation was on TBI and PTSD. So that is the data set that we used. So, I just throw that at you. So those 3 things that I'd mentioned were really, I'll say that the major outcomes, the downstream effects of what it is that we do, which is great. I will say, I mentioned that article, and in the article, again, it's a little bit esoteric, but I'll break it out and I'll try to simplify it a little bit. They talk about the multimodal group therapeutic treatment program. So multimodal meaning, obviously, hey, we come at it using a variety of different healing modalities. And I'll explain the 3 major ones. They talk about cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT being the one. The other one is going to be MBT, mindfulness-based therapy. And the last one is emotion-focused therapy. So in that article, Dr. Leese explains, what it is that we do. There's some self-care and things like that as well that, we don't touch upon too much in the article. But, meditation, mindfulness, nutrition, sleep hygiene, a variety of things that we know ail veterans. But the focus predominantly are on what I'll call the metacognitive, right? Hey, thinking about your thinking and understanding how your mind works. So the CBT, and again, I don't want to go too far down this road. They'll talk about the CBT triangle, which really states, hey, your thoughts drive your emotions, which drive your actions. And is there a little bit of back and forth? Absolutely. Can you take action, and does that affect your emotional state and how you think about yourself? Absolutely. But what we teach guys and gals when they come to us is predominantly, if you're feeling a certain way, if you're certain emotions, you're annoyed, you're angry, you're agitated, and that results in an adverse action. You blow up at your wife or your husband or whatever. If you do a root cause analysis, there's always a thought that underpins that. And if you can get to that, and again, I won't get all into the, daily thought records and the tools that you can use to kind of, all right, what is an alternate thought that can then maybe drive alternate emotional state, which drives, a better, more optimal action. There's that. The other facets of CBT, what they call ABCs, antecedent, belief, and consequence. And just very quickly, antecedent obviously is what's come before. We'll use it as a proxy for trigger. So what are the triggers, right? And what they'll talk about is distal and proximal antecedents. So distal are like early childhood triggers or events that helped develop your system of beliefs, right? So as a child in your formative years, if you had supportive parents and family that said, hey, we love you unconditionally, you can do whatever you put your mind to, you just got to work. That was good. If you had, and we've seen this, if you had parents that were like, you were a mistake, you're never going to amount to anything, and you were told that your whole childhood, that brings up, that I'll say fosters a system of beliefs that often is suboptimal. You're like, hey, I'm not worthy, I'm not good, I'm not wanted. The proximal or your near-term triggers, those are things that may happen at work now as an adult, or a spouse or a friend or somebody conveys a similar sentiment that reinforces that same belief system. And then that triggers you, and you're like, there it is again. This, I'm made to feel unworthy. So that's the antecedent. They develop your system of belief. And then the consequence obviously is the way you act, the way you perceive yourself, others, the world around you, et cetera, et cetera. And when we break that out for guys and gals, we see, early on that their system of beliefs and things that have happened previous have really formulated, very, I'll say, suboptimal patterns of behavior, belief, coping mechanisms, all of that. So there's more to it. System 1 and System 2 thinking from Daniel Kahneman. Suffice to say very briefly, System 1, automatic thoughts, routines, patterns of behavior. System 2, logic and reasoning. And what Dr. Kahneman will say, and we accentuate, is your life is governed by more of System 1, your automatic thoughts, than you would believe. Everyone likes to think that they're creatures of logic and that they think about everything, and everything that they do is very deliberate, when in fact so much of your behavior is, I'll say, habituated over time, that when you get in a situation recurringly, like, why is it that I'm always flipping people off or getting in arguments? It's because you've got those routine patterns of behavior. So Daniel Kahneman will say System 2 is what allows you to reprogram system.
Right.
So we bring their attention to that. The rest, guys, hey, mindfulness, that's important. Attention, intention, and attitude, right? Being more mindful, being more present. I mean, that's absolutely critical. They say depression lies in the past, anxiety lies in the future. The only thing you can affect is the here and now. That's, I'll say, very Stoic philosophy. Last thing is emotion-focused therapy. In that article, they say that veterans, their predominant coping mechanism is avoidance. I don't want to feel emotions. I'm going to compartment those emotions. I'm going to stuff those emotions. And that's how they deal with it. But the problem is you cannot keep them tamped down forever. And as Brene Brown says in her very famous TED talk, about vulnerability, if you numb one emotion, whether that's stuffing it or drinking or drugs or whatever, you cannot selectively numb. If you numb one emotion, you numb them all. So if people are like tuned out, where they're like, how come, I just don't feel? That's why. That's in a nutshell. The rest is coping skills, coping mechanisms, self-care, things that people can do to take better care of themselves that kind of build on that metacognitive framework that we do initially. So I'll stop there.
Well, that's a lot of information. Yeah. Are you sure you're not a therapist? That was well thought out, articulated, good, man.
Yeah.
I want to hit on that a little bit. In your line of work, do you hear things like depressing? People get depressed over colors, and I noticed it used to be that way, and it kind of supersided. Now I notice I've read a couple articles where the color thing's coming back, like gray, for example.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the prisons around America are painting. They're inside their walls a different color besides gray. Okay, because the inmates they say they have a hard enough time anyway. They don't need the colors to make them any sadder. Have you heard anything about the colors coming to you? People not liking a gray or a combination of colors?
No, not so much.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen anecdotally the same types of studies, whether it's pink or something less gray and dreary. That is not a part of, some of our, modalities.
Okay.
I see some of maybe the visual stuff is what they call EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. We don't do that. A lot of our clinicians do, but it's a little bit different, but that's got to do with, eye movements and stuff like that.
Yeah. I just, like I said, the article is touching on that it's coming back again. A lot of people are expressing about gray. I don't particularly like gray just because I don't like gray. Not really depressing to me. Here I am, show up today with gray shoes and a gray gray shirt on. So yeah.
You're in gray.
So do you guys touch on much on entertainment? And I ask you this because I noticed that a lot of people I've talked to that suffer from PTSD, myself included, they like music. Music is a big thing in their lives. Some of them like certain type of music, or excuse me, I just said music. So certain types of movies. Okay, and of course, a lot of people like comedy, which that's what we star in right here. Okay, we know something about the comedy aspect. Before you answer, I want to answer a question, Carl. No, you were wrong, buddy. That was Tiger Lily or Bearded Lily. Who was the answer to the question? We'll go. Jeremy Daniels, an avid watcher of us. Thank you, sir, for coming back. He said moodism. Okay, you can touch on that. So I gave you a lot of information there, sir, if you would, about the entertainment part. You guys work with that and encourage veterans to have it to find what they like?
Well, I'll say this, we do artistic expression.
Okay.
We used to have a guy, he left and not, on bad terms. He just he was working with the VA.
Okay.
I think he wanted to really just pour all his efforts into what he was doing with the Veterans Administration, a guy named John Sebelius. Great guy, artist in resident at KU. Or the KU, the Coffin Logan Center of Addiction Research and Treatment, working with Dr. Lease, I believe.
I heard of Coffin. Okay.
Yeah. No, great guy, very good artist. He actually, I think, paints a lot of the Chiefs, the shoes, the cleats.
Oh, I've met that guy.
Yeah, great guy. Well,
artist too now. He's good.
Yep. No, so he would come in and do artistic expression. For my part, I'll try to, I'm not an artist and I can't fill his shoes, but we do continue at least with a very rudimentary exercise of art. And here's the thing. It's just like being able to express yourself. I know it sounds a little touchy-feely, right? For a lot of, alpha dudes, like, I'm not doing any art. I'm telling you, brother, you'd be surprised. I had the biggest, burliest, biker-looking, tatted-up dudes, kind of, big, burly guys like you, right? And some of the best artists, you're like, this guy doesn't have an artistic bone in his body. He should have a wrench in his hand and grease under his fingernails, right?
Right.
And and some of those cats, they'll draw, and you'll be like, that is beautiful, brother. So whether it's writing, whether it's sketching, clay, whatever, the ability to, express yourself artistically is cathartic. That's one. Number two, the other aspects is, again, it has to do with mindfulness. If you're sketching or you're doing anything that requires that level of concentration, next thing you know, an hour goes by and you're trying to sketch or do whatever, and you're totally immersed in that. That's an exercise in mindfulness as well. So I'd say those types of pursuits are maybe, an expression of what it is that you were getting at. And then lastly, obviously, hey, all work and no play, right? Makes Mike and Richie a dope boy.
Yeah.
You got to do something.
And that's where we come in, trying to make people laugh. Okay. The problem with that is some people like certain type of things. Some people do not. There's a hard balance there to find out. Okay. So I suggest this to people. If you're going to come to a comedy show, maybe do a little bit of research who you're coming to. Okay. If you've been there before and you're comfortable, fine. Go and enjoy them. Or music. I got caught up that one time. I went to this concert. I thought they were going to be a great band. Well, it turned out they were a great band, just not my style of band. Okay.
Right.
I'm not a fan of them guys. They were great. They all had instruments that sounded great. It just wasn't my type. Okay. But I didn't throw a fit and cry and whine about it. I waited till the next act come up. Okay. A lot of people don't do that. And they put these burdens on themselves, these burdens on their emotions. Okay. He offended me. Well, why? Why did he offend you? What? If you didn't want to go to it, don't go. No one's twisting your arm to go to these things, guys. You know, last week we talked about the 4th of July thing.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, not just veterans, a lot of people get mad and, for lack of a better word, pissed off the 4th of July. We're shooting the fireworks. You've had all year long, buddy, to make arrangements.
Make arrangements to be someplace else.
Don't kill somebody else's joy because you're upset. I'm sorry you're upset.
Yeah.
You know, if I can help you do something else, I will. But I'm not giving up my thing I planned for my family a year in advance because you're upset. It sounds like people are like, well, that's being selfish. No, actually, I'm not being selfish. I just, I empathize with you. You see what I'm saying? But, you need to make plans for yourself, too. Don't always rely on somebody else to, take consideration for yourself. Does that make sense to you? Like, this comes from a brain dead redneck. So
No, absolutely, brother. I mean, like you said, it's important to have empathy. And once, if you were to say something, you don't want to offend, but what do they say? It's like, your triggers are your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Everyone around you shouldn't
really
be walking on eggshells. Like, oh, did I say? And you're right. And I don't want to, I don't want to go down the road of political commentary, but we live we live in an era of the perpetually offended.
Yeah.
Oh, this offends me, that offends me. And it's just like, and there's some nuance there in terms of, hey man, if I made some real ham-handed off-color comment that most people would go, hey, that was pretty rude, that'd be one thing. But if you make some benign, very anodyne comment that somebody's like, I'm offended by it, and you're like, what? Yeah. Well, because I just am. It's like, okay.
Sorry.
Now that you've said it, I'll be mindful of it. But you need to apologize. Not really.
Oh, that's where we start getting into the problem. Okay, I had a lady one time. I got this joke about a cell phone. Okay, and in it I say the word penis. Okay, but when I tell the whole joke, people laughed about it. But this one lady did not laugh about it. She was so appalled that I said the word penis. Okay, in the joke. 50% of the population has one. It's in the Bible. That word is a clinical thing in the Bible, right? And she, the whole time I was telling her, she had her arms cold. Told me afterwards, she goes, that was a very offensive joke. I said, yeah, your mind crazy. No, it's not. She goes, I'll never come to one of your shows again. I said, well, ma'am, that's certainly your right to do so.
Right.
But when that flyer you read said adult entertainment.
Right.
What do you expect to come here? A naked monkey swinging on the pole? No. And meanwhile, everybody else laughed at that joke, thought that joke was hysterically funny. She goes, well, you could change the word. I can't put the word hoo-hoo or dingus into that part because it doesn't fit.
What's he talking about?
That'll be some guy. What's a dingus?
What the dingus?
I don't get it. The whole joke's ruined because they don't understand certain words. And word placement is very critical in my line of work. You got to have word placement and know how to do it. And so people get offended by it. And I don't apologize. Look, you know what I am. Mm-hmm. You come to see me. If you don't, you don't, whatever. Jeremy said no breaks offended no one. That's right. No bakes. I'm sorry, no bakes. No cookies. Yeah. Except the diet. Yeah. A lot of people on a diet. Yeah. Guys, we're here with Mike Kinney, our Army veteran. What he's got going on is awesome. It's just another way to help the vets. We kind of do the same thing. Mechanical term is Dingleby. Yeah. Okay.
Dingleby.
Okay. Yeah. We all do the same thing here. He does it more analytically because he's got a big brain. We're a bunch of idiots. So we just make you laugh. But we're doing the same thing. We want to help people live. We don't want to see people die because of the demons in your head.
That's right. Okay? Don't let the demons take control.
Now I don't go too religious on here because that offends people. But I will ask you this: how much of your stuff is based on someone going to church, for example? If that's your thing, do you encourage that or you kind of avoid that?
Here's what I'll say about that. I mean, spirituality is, I'll say, a component per se.
Okay.
Where, I'm not going to say a religious. We don't foist religion on people. We're not like, hey,
right.
I'm Roman Catholic. I take that pretty seriously. But, we're in a position where it's just like, well, hey, if you say, well, hey, believe this or believe that, I just never wanted to go down that road because really, quite frankly, You get some people that are atheist, agnostic, whatever it
You
might
do.
be.
Yeah, I mean, it
So-
happens.
Yeah, no. So for us, it's just like if you bring religion to the experience,
Mhm.
that's fine. So we like to say, hey, mind, body, and soul, right?
Yeah,
So
Well, there
part
you
of
go,
that connection, really, quite frankly, and
Mm-hmm.
again, we don't really go down the religious,
well, a lot of doctors in the medical field will be quick to tell you that those who are believers and have some type of a religious background, that is one of the bases that is very important to sometimes to their survival with whatever they're going through.
Right. And
You
I've
know,
heard it
so
the other
and-
way.
and yeah,
I've heard some psychiatrists want to lock you up because you believe in whatever it is you believe in. They
And
think it's a waste of time.
I'm talking about medical doctors,
Right, yeah,
those
yeah,
like going to
Yeah.
be surgery or whatever. But
Yeah.
they
Some of them do.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we're going to take a pause real quick from that.
okay.
Mike, thank you very much. Hang around with it. We're going to do some. Hand me that deal right there.
Oh yeah.
Some people do art. You talked about that a while ago. Well, my brother,
around here.
who's not a veteran,
Look at this. This is awesome.
but he does stuff like
nice.
get back.
Got
He
kind
does
of
stuff like this
got
right
kind
here.
of a glare there.
No, I can see it. The globe and anchor and the eagle.
Yeah,
Now, he does all kind of other services.
Yeah.
He did this one for me because of being a Marine.
Yeah.
But
Got a nice little stand right here. You see that you can set it in. Ain't
Yeah.
that cool? You
yes,
know?
cool.
That is cool.
So what we're going to do, guys, first of all, he makes and he sells these things. Contact Dale Baldwin on Facebook or Redneck A-Hole on Facebook. Either one of them, okay? He's a good guy, though. And he loves veterans. He loves helping them out. He doesn't want to see anybody commit suicide at all. So he does stuff like this. This art, this is exactly what you're talking about. And this, some people can do things, some people can't. I make beautiful benches. You know that.
Oh yeah, we
Matter
got
of
one
fact.
sitting in front of the Legion Hall. It's gorgeous.
So go on Facebook, get a hold of Dale Baldwin, and he's worked with guys like Troy Green. You know what I'm talking about? Troy Green does
Yeah.
a Rock Across America.
Yeah.
He gave him a couple pieces here. Met him at Casey's in Hamilton today. Guys, this stuff right here, he does this. This is his therapy, but he wants to help. So if anybody's interested on there, get a hold of. Thank you.
You
man.
betcha. You betcha.
Anybody get a hold of Dale Baldwin on Facebook there, or Redneck A-Hole on Facebook, and he'll work with you if you're making donations or if you want to buy one. He ain't allergic to money. Okay.
You bet.
And he does a fantastic job. And I showed some of his other stuff. Let me go back and show some of the stuff he did last week.
Yeah.
Okay. There he is. There's one for the Seabees.
Yeah, we've got it.
That is cool.
That's it. I like his saying, right? I see this on a lot of stuff. All gave some gave all. At the punter. Here's one of his designs. He's working on another one. He's working on one that with a burn. It looks like the flag is actually burning. Okay. That was for a firefighter. We the people. Okay. So there's some of the things he's got working on there, guys. I encourage you to get a hold of him, and he'll send you photos of what he's done. And he makes benches as well. So if you got the opportunity to do that, I suggest you do that. That's great therapy, and you'll really enjoy it. Okay. August 17th, I'm going to be in St. Joseph, Missouri for Comedy Vets. We've got a booth up there. We're going to make people laugh and sell some merch and try to get some donations to help out Comedy Vets. So come up, say Joe.
All right.
Look me up there. September 7th. Guys, I'm extremely proud of this show. I worked this show for a while. Myself and Vincent Morales of the Community Veterans Project. Okay, Veterans Community Project. Excuse me, said it backwards.
Yeah.
Veterans Community Project, VCP. Great people over there. They're the ones that build these tiny houses for these veterans. Awesome people, man.
Oh, yeah. Great program.
We're going to be there at their main building, or out there on Truce. Excuse me, the building on Truce, and we're going to be putting on a comedy show. Okay, and the flyer is going to be coming up, and they're making the flyer. Jamie, she's making a flyer for us. We're going to be getting in there, and we're going to put on a comedy show. It's adult comedy. That don't mean we're going to be filthy, because we're not, and we're not going to get racist or anything like that. But we're going to say some language. So if you're offended by language, please don't come. If you're not offended, but you want to hear some good comedy, bring your ass and put it in the seat, because you will laugh. I guarantee you'll laugh, or Jeff Onyx will mow your yard. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and since you're already laughing, you don't get your yard mowed.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to be up there. And then I'm proud to announce October the 12th, my birthday, I'm going to be in my hometown, Jamesport, Missouri. Okay. Three famous people come out of Jamesport, Missouri. Margaret Stewart, she played the mother in the Ten Commandments, Moses' mother, and she's actually buried there. Fog Allen, great athlete and coach of all kinds of different sports. The KU Arena is named after him, Fog Allen Arena. Okay. 3, Me.
And him.
I just want to say. And
It's
so,
okay to toot your own horn.
no, hey, yeah,
yeah.
So come on out there, guys, and check us out and have a good time. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to laugh. Listen, some of the things that have been going on in this country, everybody needs to sit down and laugh a
Just
little
laugh.
bit. Okay, we all need to come together, freaking arm to arm, and laugh. And laugh. And quit being so sensitive.
Yeah,
Sensitive doesn't do nothing for you. It might draw attention to you, but it draws the wrong attention to you.
Yeah.
Okay? So, and I'm sorry, not everybody's going to get along.
Is what it
It's
is.
not, we strive to get along, but there's always somebody that doesn't want to get along or something. All right.
Too many Karens in the country.
Too many Karens. That's because me.
Too many Karens.
Too many Karens. That's right.
Too many.
Right. Here we go. Now, some of these, and there's going to be a famous athlete get mad at me if he ever finds me for this.
Oh, he'll get over it.
We'll get to him in a second. Let's start off this one here. He looks like an Ice Age baby. All grown up. He does with Simon Cowell. I don't know when this photo was taken. It was an older.
I don't know
either. But he does. Look at the bug eyes like a. That had to be fake.
Kind of got that thing. You're going to put that thermometer where?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
This next one, she's a brilliant singer. She's got a great singing voice. She's up there on my Mount Rushmore of female singers, but she's not going to be happy with me on this one. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, just.
Is this too soon? Prop gun.
Poor guy.
All right, Travis, Kelsey. Just jokes, Travis. Okay, we love you, man. Yep. Go 87. 2050. He quit working out, hit them little Debbie's, and looky there. I can't believe Taylor. I mean, that man.
Yeah.
Man. Don't expect no donation check from her. There you go, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
CBD toilet paper, so y'all can calm your ass down. Well, if they made some, I think I'd buy that.
Yeah.
If they made that.
Might.
Yeah. Or maybe in a white
That'd
form.
Everybody just carry a roll of that around. Somebody comes up and wants to be a Karen on you, just tear a sheet off here.
Yeah, there you go. Now pick one.
Yes.
You guys have to pick one. Top or bottom?
Got to pick it.
Pick one.
I'm going with the bottom.
Yeah, I think the three of us are all on.
I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Got to have the bottom one.
Man, that's beautiful. The top, don't get me wrong, the top ain't no punk now. Top's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nothing to sneeze at.
The way they got that flag on her like that, that's beautiful.
I love that. Love that. Yeah.
All right. This right here should be on everybody's screensaver. Teach them and create memories that will last a lifetime. Listen, my daughters, they know basic stuff.
Yep. Mine
They
does
know
too.
enough. They know enough not to be stranded on the side of the road. Okay. Everything else they call dad or their husband. But I think this picture should go worldwide and take your daughters out there. Your young boys, for that matter. Hell, you got a lot of men today, ain't even men.
Yeah.
They can't do stuff like that.
I taught my daughter how to change oil, change tire, do all that stuff. Not only that, she'd go out, help me field dress a deer, and then come home, take a bath, put on her dance clothes, and hit the studio. I mean,
And when she's done, she puts on a sundress and drinks coffee. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm wrong. All right. I make fun of electric vehicles so much. I should give them a break, but I can't. When Tesla has a problem, they send a gas-powered Ford. The Ford vans ain't very good, so they got to send a Ford van. There's some problems.
What's wrong with the Ford?
I drive a Ford truck.
Oh, okay.
But
I think say
Ford vans are.
Oh,
yeah.
What's wrong with vans? I got a van.
We'll go on. Move on.
We're moving on now.
Too much Ram, not enough Dodge. That's funny, dude. This winter we've seen a bunch of.
We've seen a bunch like that.
Yeah, going on I-35 going to Kansas City. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know how one of them. I seen one of them where the truck was in back of a semi, and it didn't open the door. I don't know how that was possible, and I hope people were okay. But it smelled like poop. Somebody might have had an accident.
First you say it, then you do it.
That's right. The wife told me I can have anything as long as it fits into the garage. So I built the garage taller. That is beautiful. Look at the top of that truck. It's past his eve of his house.
I love it.
I love it.
I love
That
it.
is great. That's gold.
Looks like something I'd try and get away with.
Yeah. I fart because it's the only gas I can afford. Oh man. Oh, this one right here, a lot of men can relate. Although I'm not sure my wife won half of that particular vehicle, but my wife's the type of woman, she get half the lug nuts off my wheel. If I got 6, she gets 3 off each wheel.
Well, it just goes to show you that if mama's happy, everybody's happy. And if mama ain't happy, you're only happy with half your crap.
Yeah.
That just pretty much sums it up.
And she's got more than me, so I'm in trouble. I'm a simple guy. I don't have much. Well, how American. They got rid of the Indian and kept the land. Now, me being an Indian, I can tell you, this is funny.
Yeah,
that's I'm not butthurt.
There's a lot of truth to that.
There's a lot of truth to that. And if you're black, you ain't on syrup no more. And,
that's right.
White people might be offended because
like Aunt Jemima.
The Quaker Oat guy's still on Quaker Oats.
Yeah.
So
I'd be mad.
Are you guys all Amish? I mean, come on.
Got to be careful out there amongst the English, as they say.
Yeah, amongst the English. Yeah.
The English.
By the way, you guys, last week I commented about that Amish grocery store burnt down.
Yes.
Mysteriously in the middle of the night. Fed a lot of people in the community, fed people in a lot of states. They are now already broke ground and already got some framework up. They're already building again.
Oh, yeah. They ain't messing around.
No, and if you ever seen these Amish work, man, like 400 of them show up and in 3 days, yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you how hard they work and how good they are. Okay, over here at the Village Healthcare right there used to be a big hill right there. And this is when they were starting to build up the ground for the on and off ramps to do the overpass. Okay, there used to be a big old barn, a separate garage, and a big 2.5-story farmhouse.
Right.
The Amish rolled in there in one day, had the house cut in half, jacked up off the foundation, and was going down 36 highway with it. And the next day they had the barn and the garage cut in half and was going down the highway with it and set it down on other land with a foundation already poured. In 2 days, they just cut them in half. And I mean, it just.
They are efficient. They
are
tell
extremely
you
efficient. What, I never seen nothing like it.
They said 6 weeks that multiplex building is going to be built.
Will be. Oh, I don't doubt it.
I don't doubt a bit.
I don't doubt it a bit.
Matter of fact, I bet you can go out there in 5 weeks and you can buy stuff.
Yeah.
It won't be totally done, but they'll have it open.
They'll have it open. So, people go in there.
And that's sad that happened to them. And I hope it was an accident, an act of nature.
Oh, I'm sure it
and
probably
not sabotage.
Yeah.
Because if that's the way this country's going, man.
Oh, that'd be sick.
All right, let's do some of our video memes now.
If you saved $1 a day for a year, do you know how much money you'd have? Roughly $30,000.
I don't think so. 1 into itself is whatever number it is, 365 times 1 is 365. I mean, I'm not sure how.
Must be that new math.
Oh, I know what she did.
Yeah.
She accidentally hit another number on a calculator.
Yeah, that's what she did. Sure. There's always a reason. Yeah.
And she figured out by pencil.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is neat how this guy turned this around. This is started to be a racist question, but this guy turned this around and it was very funny.
Out of all races, what would you say is your least favorite race?
Listen, as a true Southern white male, my parents believe this. My grandparents definitely believe this. The worst race has to be the 43rd annual Daytona 500, February 18th, 2001. Turn 4, last lap, the day NASCAR died, the race that took Dale Earnhardt from us.
I quit watching NASCAR right around that time too.
I remember that. Jeez.
Yeah. Too. Yeah.
Horrible. And you looked at it and it didn't even look like he hit really hard.
No,
I mean,
he did.
It was like, but because they didn't have the, oh my Lord, what a horrible.
And
terrible loss.
That was a terrible loss. And that did cost a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Not because they hated it, just that they just didn't want to watch it no more because Dale Earnhardt wasn't there. Like, I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans or not, but wrestling suffered a big hit when Stone Cold Steve Austin quit.
Yeah,
he retired.
Retired.
It took a big hit. They had to bring in a lot of people to overcome the loss of viewership because I ain't watching no more Stone Cold. I watch it abjectly. I don't care. He can have 2 monkeys wrestle. I'd watch it. I don't know why. I did figure out why. I did a genealogy thing. I was looking up some of my aunts and uncles and stuff. And I found out my great grandmother and my grandmother, both of them were highly into wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the women,
It's in the
it's the
bloodline.
women's fault. They passed it down to me, you know.
It's in the blood.
And my
There you
mom,
go.
she loved it because she liked Bob Backlund.
Oh.
She thought Bob Backlund was sexy. Bob Backlund was not sexy at all. He was, but anyway, yeah. So the women got me caught up. All right, here we go.
Look, I'm allowed to wear a hat. I mean, I can express myself how I want.
This is not expression. This is hate speech. This is every kind of misogyny, homophobia, racism, bigotry, Islamophobia. I can go on and on. Until you take that hat off, you will not be served.
I'm not taking it off.
Well, then you will not be served in this restaurant.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He just said that.
You've got to be kidding me.
We should all get up and leave.
We'll all get up and leave. I'm leaving.
Come on, let's go. We're out.
He told him.
Yep, he will not serve him.
He just told me.
Let's go. I would never stay here.
They did.
Yeah.
You're making him leave? You won't serve him?
We won't serve him while he's wearing a hat that represents those.
Represents what?
Represents
Make America great again. That's bad?
making America great is an expression of
Of nothing but a nice, hopeful thing. I would not leave
Get
here.
out of here.
Following her lead, both sets of diners are so disgusted they head for the door.
Trust me. And we will make sure that this is put all over Facebook, everywhere. We're even going to call the news.
We're even going to call the news.
Now, I wish they would have read ahead and went a little further because, like Mike pointed out, that was actually a joke. Okay. These guys go around, they film these restaurants. The things he did before they came in
Right.
wasn't very nice. Okay. He wouldn't serve certain people, which is wrong. But when they came in with this here was a joke to simulate how many people would be tired of it. And these the people over there were great, man. They got up and left and stuff. Would you two, if you guys seen this, and I'll put on there for a response. If you two seen this, what would be you guys' response? And Mike, if you since you're our guest, buddy, I'll let you go first on that. What would you do?
I mean, I'd have some issues with that. I mean, geez, we talk freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you can't have it. You know, I'm not going to say both ways, but freedom of speech. You know, hate speech, this, that, and the other thing, and then somebody. Yeah, I mean, you're entitled to. You know, your beliefs. You know, all of that. You know, now that guy, he may have other beliefs, or he may be like, I take offense to that. But you're right, man. Okay, but to not render service to somebody because of that, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's actually against the law.
Well, I mean, I thought it was the same thing with, you know, in Portland, I want to say, with the bakery that wouldn't, you know, make a cake for like a gay wedding or something.
Was that Portland? I didn't remember.
That was in Portland, Oregon.
Okay,
yeah.
And I don't know.
I'm shocked because
I'm trying to remember how that was reconciled, whether that was religious beliefs. I think that was the contention. Well, it's
I think it was. I think it went against her religious beliefs.
Yeah.
On doing that.
Either way, I mean, bottom line,
come on.
Like, I mean,
bake the cake.
Advocating for, you know, like the death of somebody. I mean, geez, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, if a gay couple's getting married and you want somebody to bake a cake, but they won't put the topper on there, okay, let them bake the cake and take the cake out of the store. Then go put your own topper on it. I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, come on, you know, if you like the baker, just get your own topper, put your own topper on top of it. I mean, you know, come on, get over yourself.
So sensitive. I mean, both ways, man.
It does.
People are people. If they, you know, I mean, what I tell my boys, it's just like, hey, man, if somebody's a good person, they're good to you, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Well, I think that's what we need to talk about right there. It depends upon what kind of person. If they came in and screaming and yelling, "You're gonna bake this cake," and then they need to leave most speedily. If I was in that position, and you know, I want to base this all on religion. You know, I'm spiritual. I'm Native American.
Right.
We got a bad reputation back in the days.
Yeah.
Of what we did to those type of people. Okay.
Exactly.
And we used to kill them, eat them, or if we didn't eat them, we just killed them. You know.
Yeah.
So that, you know, that was the belief back in that day. What I would do, I think I'd say, you know what, your money is green. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's money is the same currency. All right. I'd say, look, I'd bake a cake for you. It doesn't require me to get into conversation about my beliefs with you.
Right.
I'll bake this cake, but I don't think you ought to be out there kissing on a man. Just, yes, you know what? You want that? All right. Whatever you need. There you go. Tell your friends about me.
Right.
Because I think you're stupid if you don't put the word up there. That's killing yourself in business.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in it to make money, then you need to make money anybody's money. Okay. There was a lady long ago, black lady, sweet lady. A man came in from the KKK. You obviously know.
Oh, yeah.
He's a bump there. He asked her, he was polite. He said, ma'am, we're having a rally together. I can't find anybody to cater to us. Will you do it? She was, yeah, I'll do it. Imagine what they thought when she showed up with a black lady catering to them. Did you know not one person said anything bad about it, and they all complimented her on the food.
Right.
They didn't get in a debate about you're right, you're wrong, being about commerce. And listen, they might establish a friendship together.
Right. Well, most restaurants, if you go in there somewhere around the door or anywhere, they will have a sign that says we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. So
and you know what? That's their right to do that.
That's their right to do that.
It is. And see, we juggle a lot. Us veterans, we fought for people's rights. Okay, they got a right to do it. Like Typhoon Panda, my great friend who passed away. God rest his peace. Typhoon, you remember Typhoon?
Oh yes.
I did a show outside Chillicothe, Missouri, at a place called Good Time Charlie's.
Mm-hmm.
He had the rebel flag just waving. I call it the rebel flag because to me that's what I grew up as, rebel flag. Right. It was just flying and flowing about. I said, Typhoon, does that bother you? I said, if it does, we'll do something else. He goes, nope, don't bother a bit. He said, I'll tell you why. I fought for the right for that man to fly that flag.
Right.
He said, I'm not a sensitive little girl. He said some other word. I'm not a sensitive little girl. I don't care. You know what? The owner of Good Time Charlie's and Typhoon hit it off great, and they were buddies.
Mm-hmm.
And Typhoon said, you know what? I don't. He said, let me ask you something. He said, sure. Charlie said, sure. He goes, why do you fly that flag? Are you flagging for racism? He said, no. Because when he said, me growing up, that flag was against my government. I don't like the government treat their people. And him and Typhoon had an honest conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Typhoon left happy and wanted to go back. We performed there twice more.
Yep.
At that place.
Yep.
And Ty.
The bars and stars.
So I think we get caught up in a lot of things we shouldn't get caught up with. I got a pastor friend who's on the show. He said, I'll tell you what, won't you let the Creator do the judging?
Yeah.
You do the living. I don't know what else to tell you. That ought to be on a shirt somewhere.
Yeah.
Let the Creator do the judging. You do the living.
Judge not, least you be judged yourself.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here to quote that because I'd mess that all up.
Yep.
Jesus stick a lightning bolt in my keister, and because I don't recite the right stuff. So, you see, got a couple comments here I want to get to. I would get up and leave so fast they wouldn't even know I was there. Your shadow would be looking for you, BJ.
Yeah. I'd be right behind her so I could open the car door for her.
Yeah. I do professional tailoring. This BJ. A lady came in to me wanting me to alter her wedding gown. And she confessed to me that she was marrying a woman. Okay. I told her that it was my job to alter her gown and nothing more. Ministers, however, deserve the right to protect if they have a moral obligation to performing a gay ceremony. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Simple as that.
But what I don't want you to do is get violent, man, scream and get all offended.
Now, the thing, if they came up and asked me to officiate, I'd just have to tell them, I'm sorry, I'm booked on that day already. There's always a way to just delicately without having to throw it in their face that, turn or burn or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
You can learn
I'm
a lot.
busy that day.
You can learn a lot from the women in your family, especially a smart, educated woman.
Yes, I got one of them.
I got several. I'm married to a brilliant.
Oh, my daughter too. She's like her mother, Cookie. I mean, she was.
But I got an aunt who grew up redneck. Okay, I mean hardcore, out in the front yard fighting her own brother's redneck. Okay. She got her one of them doctorates online to be a minister. Okay?
Yes.
She marries people, and I asked her. I said, Aunt Carol, would you marry a gay couple, get in religion? She goes, I would, because one thing that the good book told me, it ain't my job to judge. Okay. I don't care what we do down here. I'm not the one calling the shots up there.
Mm-hmm.
I sat back like, damn, man, old technical on me, didn't you?
Yeah.
She's great. And she was smart about it. Right. Now, a lot of people will not agree with me. And I know they won't agree with me on that, but we really don't have the right Well, I do got some gay jokes.
Right.
Okay. Now, understand something. I'm not making fun of the gay person who's there. Comedians make fun of the situation. Okay. And my thing with the gay people is this. Some of them get offended. Some of them don't. Some of them think they're just funny as heck. Because the gay person had to write that joke, by the way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is this. If you come to a comedy show and you laugh at jokes about God, about Jesus, about the Pope, and you laugh about the president, gay people ain't off limits. Nobody's off limits. If you're laughing about them,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't laugh about that. Now, if they're calling you out,
Right.
using your name, well, then there's a problem. Only people I make fun of are celebrities like Charlie Sheen. I'll say his name because that guy's a little.
Well, everybody else does too.
Well, Bill Cosby, I'll say his name. But them guys put themselves in that position to do that.
Right.
So they're not off limits.
They opened the door.
Right. You all right? How are you beeping over
Yeah,
there?
I'm going to check there.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
So that being said, guys, we'll get away from that. We'll go on to our next segment because I don't want to bore Mike Kinney to death because he won't come back. So we're going to go on this day in history.
On this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like this segment here. This is a pretty cool little segment. I mean, I don't know why I do it. You can look it up your dadgum self, but I like to do it for y'all. And so let me go over here and put it up on there. I'm going to go back here. All right. On this day in history, July 16th, 1945, the first atomic bomb was tested. It successfully exploded. You remember that? Was you old enough?
What year was that?
45.
45. No. I came a little later than that.
Okay.
But,
All right, excellent. Well, I didn't know because I know you and Jesus played ball together.
Well, me and Moses,
I get it.
You know, we put the pitch on the ark, you know.
I see.
Yeah. We helped out them.
I see. I understand. You did a good job.
Yeah.
In 1973, existence of the Watergate tapes is revealed in live testimony.
Oh, Watergate.
Yeah. Yes,
You know, and all Nixon did was just wiretap one phone.
Yeah.
And they hung him out to dry. I was doing as a favor for a friend. Boy.
A favor for a friend. Yeah, okay. 1999.
Ooh.
JFK Jr. killed in a plane crash.
Yeah, that was
Boy,
sad.
if that family ain't cursed, I don't know what
Well,
are, man. I'll tell you what. Poor guys. Man. 1973, existence of water. Idiot. Learn how to read. 1769.
Yes.
There you go. The first Catholic mission in California dedicated.
Awesome.
Cool. A long time ago. 1969 again. Apollo 11 launched.
Yes.
There's some people who don't believe that.
Of course they did.
Some people don't believe
We went
that.
all the way up. We was trying to beat the Russians, man. We was in the height of the Cold War then.
I think
you know.
4 shows ago we talked about them.
Yeah.
People think the moon landing was fake.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people.
Oh, yeah.
1935, world's first parking meter was installed. And them things are the devil.
Yeah. Everybody thought that Trump dropped down and cut his own ear too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They thought he shot himself. Nobody shoots himself in the ear.
Yeah.
Not in the ear. No. That's silly. 1790, Congress declares new nation's capital shall rise along the Potomac River. 2002, President Bush unveils a strategy for the Homeland Security. Say what you want about Homeland Security. Yeah. I'm glad they got overhauled, and they probably need overhauled again. 1951, Catcher in the Rye was published. Never read that. Have you read that?
No.
Mike, have you read that?
I don't think I have.
Okay, good. I'm not good that you didn't read it, but I mean, we're on it. Yeah. 1990, earthquakes wreaks havoc in the Philippines. I remember that, man. I was in high school. Wow. 1979, trial begins for Army doctor accused of stabbing his family to death. I do not remember that. I was too young. Do you remember anything about that?
I remember that.
I want to say wasn't that the Green Beret?
Yeah, it was the Green Beret doctor. Yes.
Did he do it?
I think so.
I think he did.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I trust you guys' opinion.
Yep.
1799, Anthony Wayne launches risky attack against the British forces. Okay. I never knew that. 1918, Roman Vic family executed, ending a 300-year imperial dynasty. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is
on this day
in history, July 16th.
We report, you decide.
Every week, I say that to you guys. You know, I had one guy argue me about this segment. I said, brother,
we just took it from the History Channel.
What are you doing? You get mad at the History Channel.
Yeah.
Let me see. Right here. Oh, sure, I said that. I'm sorry. Wrong guy.
Give him some of those wipes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Wayne. We'll get into that. Salam. Thank you for joining us, brother.
Yes.
We don't need to be shooting anybody. I don't want to see Biden shot. It's stupid to shoot. If we're that kind of country, we're in trouble.
We're in deep doodles.
You know, some people say you think a civil war's coming. We keep acting like this.
Yeah.
You know, that was dumb. And you know, I don't want to say it because I know he's got a family too. But when you do things like that, that's what happens to you.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kid Rock made a nice sizable donation to the family of the retired firefighter that
is that right?
Got killed, that shielded his wife and daughter from the.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yep, I just read it on.
I'm a fan of Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's wishy-washy.
He made a nice donation to the family.
That was excellent, man.
Yeah.
You know what? When they do that,
kudos off to Kid Rock. There you go.
If I had it, I would do it. But you know, good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. All right, let's do our. Like I said, I don't want to call this our favorite one, but our most somber one. Guys, today we're doing missing persons. We got 3, multiple, and I'm sorry, but here we go. Now, Abigail Bernstein. All right, now I want you to take a look at here. The whole family's gone. Here's some of the photos of her. There's just like glasses, totally different with glasses on.
Yep.
And there's the 2 daughters with her. Wow. Here's some information. Abigail's her name, but they call her. She goes by A.V., Abigail, or Ovi. Excuse me, Ovi. There's no one there. Didn't remember my glasses. Date of birth used December 14th, 1990. She's a female. Her race is white. Remarks. The Bernstein family has ties to Naples, Florida, Pensacola, Michigan, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and Hawaii. She's well traveled.
Yes.
Okay. Details. The Federal Bureau of Investigation in Honolulu is seeking information regarding Abigail Bernstein and her 2 children, Koa, Kai, and Kush Kahoi. Is that pretty close? Okay.
Yeah, pretty close.
The family was last seen in Avia Wahoo Boat Harbor in Honolulu, Hawaii, October of 2022. It's a long time not to report a missing. I mean, not to have them on here. 2022, guys.
Just flat disappeared.
Look at that. Look at them little girls. Or maybe that one's a boy. I don't know. I don't want to call it a boy if it's not, but 2 kids right there and her are gone. That usually indicates some foul play. And this photo said it was taken 2021. That within a year, her disappeared. So those are probably pretty accurate photos.
Didn't say anything about an estranged husband or anything in there like that.
No, it did not. Matter of fact, it's pretty basic.
Yeah, just I was going to say there wasn't anything down below. So
no. So if you have any information contacting this family, please contact the FBI Honolulu Field Office at 808-673-2719 or the FBI's toll-free tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI.
Definitely smells like foul play to me.
1-800-225-5324. You may also contact your local FBI office, your nearest American embassy or consulate, or you can submit an online tip at tips.fbi.gov. From Honolulu, Field Office Honolulu, or of course, guys, if you don't want to be known, you can always submit an anonymous tip online. One more time, check this. This is just sickening to me. They were by the harbor, by the boat harbor, in October of 2022. They're all missing. Her and her children.
2 children. Wow, that's sad.
It is sad. That's too bad. I don't know if they're missing or not still, or what the case is, if they've been found. But this country it's just something else, man. But All right, guys, we're going to get into more of a touchier topic. And Mike, if you want to stay around, brother, appreciate your input. You're an educated person. All right. You guys seen what happened. Well, first I want to say it's been a long week for my family. My cousin fell off his mower and broke his neck. And mower rolled over on top and broke his neck. They buried him. Okay. And while I was doing research on him, I found out something that I did not know.
Okay.
And I'm almost 53 years old, did not know this.
Okay.
I had a cousin who was the president of the United States.
Really?
Yep. And you can vet me. I'm going to give you information. You can vet me if you don't believe me. Gerald Ford was not born Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford was adopted.
Okay.
His real name is Leslie King Jr.
Okay.
If you go back and check him out, his lineage all the way back, the final name in his lineage would be Philip King, who helped write the Declaration of Independence, who owned brothels, bars. He was a land baron, thousands of acres of land. He had a flour mill, a sawmill. Now, if you look at my lineage, my mom Betty, my grandfather Bob, his grandfather Charles Moore. You go all the way up it.
Wow.
My great grandfather was his great grandfather.
Well, better get people hitting that so you can run for president.
Keep
it in the family. Keep it in the family.
He wasn't that good a president, but however, he was. They tried to assassinate him twice, and it was women. Supposed to be the nurturers. They didn't like him at all. Okay.
Oh boy.
And it's too bad. And his family history, and it's in Google. You can read about it. My cousin, his dad was mean. They tried to kill him when he's a baby, and his mother. I don't condone none of that crap. He needed some therapy back in that day. But yeah, you go trace it all the way back, and you'll find out he's my cousin.
Wow,
so that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That part's cool. The part that's not. I'm a Trump fan. I'm not apologizing for it, but I don't want to see Biden get shot, or frankly anybody on that get shot.
Right. That's just wrong on all levels.
But as everybody knows, a gunman took a couple of shots at Donald Trump, missed at 150 yards. It wasn't a veteran, because 150 yards, Trump been a veteran.
No.
Because we were trained 150 yards before we even get out of class.
Oh, yeah.
You got to do the 150 yards, easy.
That's iron sights.
Yeah. But he called up on top of a building, shot President Trump in the ear. Okay, and then they fired a couple more, killing an innocent victim, Corey Contami?
Yeah, something like that. Like that. Retired fire chief.
Retired fire chief. Man, come on. My heart, I'm torn up and heartbroken over that. Dude.
Throwed his wife and daughter down, was shielding them.
Yes. What a hero. That's a mark of a man.
Right.
And then two other men, one an elderly guy, were injured, still in the hospital, I think, as of this morning.
Yeah, there's two of them in critical but stable condition.
Okay. They were shot. What kind of bullshit is going on here?
Yeah.
Okay, now we can argue semantics and argue whose fault it was. Ultimately, it was the shooter's fault. Yes.
Right.
He's the one that pulled the trigger. And they took him out. I'm going to say it polite as I can.
Polite as you can.
Took him out. He's no longer with us. Here comes all the other things now. This guy, they got video on this now, him walking around with a ladder and a gun. 26 minutes of footage of nobody doing anything. 26 minutes of footage of this guy acting suspicious with a ladder. What does he need a ladder for a Trump rally?
Well,
what do you need a rifle for?
What I'm understanding from a lot of the news feeds is this building where he went up on the roof was outside the perimeter that they had secured for the Trump rally. So therefore, the Secret Service, the state police, local authorities, and all that were basically more concerned with the perimeter around where the rally was being held, making sure it was secure, while they had counter snipers posted on other roofs that were supposed to be scouring and watching other rooftops around. Right. So I'm just saying.
Do you believe that?
What doesn't make sense to me And I know they're going to make an example out of this police officer, this local officer. I know they are. I know that it doesn't matter whatever happens with anything that involves the government, they got to have a scapegoat somewhere. Okay. And I'm afraid that's what they're going to do with this officer. This one police officer, when people told him somebody's up on that roof with a gun, and he knew that it was outside the perimeter that was supposed to be secured, he crawled up the ladder. When the guy aimed his rifle at him, he retreated back down the rifle, supposedly on his radio that he carries, saying there's a guy on the roof up there. My thing is, former law enforcement myself, if somebody would told me there's a guy on the roof with a rifle, before my head crests over the top, I'm going to take a quick peek. And when I climb up that ladder, my weapon's going to be out and I'm going to be ready to use it if need be. He turned and points a rifle. Sorry, the game's on. Why he retreated back down and didn't go forward with that is beyond me. I don't get it. I wasn't there. Everybody handles situations differently. Everybody responds and reacts differently. You've got less than 1/1000th of a second to make a split decision to shoot or don't shoot, and there's a lot that you've got to take in at one time. I don't know. I just find it very peculiar all the way around, but that's just my own personal opinion.
He may have been a coward. Okay, didn't want to get in a gunfight. We've seen what happened in Texas.
Well,
we had coward cops that didn't want to go in and cost lives. And
well, I tell you what, you don't know how you're going to react until you're put in that situation.
You don't. But you're trained.
You can take. So a lot of soldiers that are trained too, and I was trained, but you don't know what it's like until you're in the middle of it, and you don't know how you're going to react.
Then he should retire.
What? Or he should find a different
job.
Yeah, give me a desk job or something. Yeah. I'm not defending him, but
no, I know you're not. Yeah, and I appreciate your opinion.
But I'm just saying that
right.
To me,
but this
don't hang this guy out to dry because we weren't there. I mean, the Secret Service. That's another thing that got me. If you would have noticed in the video that they showed, that one female Secret Service, she couldn't even get her gun out of her holster. And then when she went to put it back in, she couldn't even find her holster. Okay. Everybody's different when they carry a weapon like that.
Absolutely.
Me, I'm left-handed, but I shoot right-handed. Okay. I know I'm weird, but anyway, okay. But anyway, I never carried mine off duty on my right side.
Right.
It was always on my left side in an angle off duty holster, because when you're standing, your hands are kind of in front of you when you're in type of a guard situation like that, where you're watching the president or whatever. It's quicker to reach right there across and pull it out of the holster.
Right.
It's out and it's ready. Right. Instead of fumbling your coat and all that stuff to get it out of the way.
That's not being at the ready.
No.
You heard that term? Always heard that in the military. Be at the ready.
Be at the ready all the time. Yeah.
Mike, what's your take on some of the Trump deal? I'm not asking you to throw anybody under the bus, because I'm gonna do that because it's
I wasn't there. So I don't know.
Right, but what do you think, brother?
I mean, I understand. I mean, just what I've heard. From the news, they were saying Secret Service was responsible, I guess, for the intercourt on. Okay, those are the people that somebody pulls out a pistol. I totally get that.
Right.
That's the near threat. That would be your red zone or whatever, man.
Yeah.
And the outer court on, they're saying, all right, they delegated that to local law enforcement.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there still has to be some sort of battle handover. That's one. Number two, I mean, hey, I'm not a sniper. I mean, I used to employ snipers. I understand sniping a little bit, And I mean, again, hindsight's always 20/20. Like, oh my God, that's so obvious. There was a grove of trees that, but that would there. It's not like you're in the middle of a city with skyscrapers.
Right.
And you've got a cover gun on every single window, and you're like, they could shoot from anywhere. And there's no way you can cover all of that. There are only a handful of places, there are like 3 buildings, I think, that I saw in the photo that you're like, well, there's one, there's another, and there's another. That's one, so it's just like, I think they saw them. is the word that I got. I think the guy had, I'll say, the target acquired, you know, and it's like, I'm watching this guy, you know, I need the clear, you know, cleared hot to shoot this dude. I mean, tell me, you know, to me, I mean, I was talking to some of my other buddies and they're like, it's entirely possible that he thought it was going to be a blue on blue. Like, all right, man, hey, is this local law enforcement? And I would say, as odd as it may sound, just the brazenness, which with this guy brings a ladder out in broad day. You're almost this guy was really trying to be surreptitious and, you know, and really sneaking around. And he was doing, you know, the snooping and pooping. You'd be like, that guy's up to no good.
Good.
You know, but he's out there, do. You're like, this is either the bravest dude ever, or he's crazy, which probably is the case, or he's just local law enforcement and they're just doing their due diligence. And I hazard a guess that counter sniper was just like, am I seeing this?
Yeah.
Is this one of our guys? And then the latest thing that I heard was he was waiting for the go, like, hey, am I cleared? Is this our guy or not? And he didn't get anything. And the first instance where he was like, no, that isn't, you know, again, not blue on blue, but, you know, necessary, was when he fired the shot. So obviously there were some coordinating issues, and I don't understand Secret Service, you know, their protocols. It's, you know, it's always easy to play the armchair quarterback. Obviously there was some miscommunication. You had some great dudes that, you know, once that guy shot, they neutralized him.
He was gone immediately.
Well, yeah, about eight shots.
Yeah, you know, and boom, and then that was it. You know, and we can sit here all day and go, oh my God, heads are going to roll. I get it. There was some miscommunication somewhere, and it's easy to say, clearly they should have it. But I'll be honest with you, it's just like, I could easily see them saying, hey, I don't want to shoot local law enforcement. You know, if that guy is one of their snipers,
that's like I'm
not
saying,
aware of, and I think that's what he was doing. Was like, is that one of our guys?
Yeah,
you know. And then when he would not get any, and then boom, he shoots, and he's like, that's not one of our guys.
That's not one of our guys. Yeah,
you know?
that's the end of it.
Should it have been better than that? You would think.
When you got so many entities like that with different law enforcement agencies, the breakdown of communication can happen very easily if you don't have a centralized communication center set up. I mean, that's just going to happen. But like you said, go blue on blue. The guys don't want to do that. You know, is that one of our guys over there or what? And you're waiting for the clear of a yay or nay, so he'll know what to do. And like I said, we weren't there. We're just going by what the news says. And Lord, you can fill volumes of a library with what they don't say, you know? So it's, like you said, it's hard to be a armchair quarterback here on this type of deal.
I've heard how you both said it, and I appreciate what you said. I'm going to go a different route. Okay. Here's my evidence. There was a bill submitted to Congress to pull Trump's protection. It didn't pass, but it went forward. Somebody put that forward. Okay. They called and asked for more support for this event. They were denied. It's like they denied Robert F. Kennedy until the president came out and authorized it. It was denied. I'm going to say this. This is what I believe. The reason all this doesn't make any sense is because you're looking at it the wrong way. I think this was supposed to happen. I think the reason it don't make any sense is because Trump's still alive. I think this gentleman came there on authority to shoot Trump. All that stuff. Why didn't they give him protection? Why didn't this? Because they thought Trump was going to die. I think that sniper let him shoot a couple times. He thought Trump was dead. He took out the guy. He was going to take out the guy and clean this whole thing up. Right? If Trump was dead, then there'd be a lot less questions of this and that and this and that. But he didn't. Trump lived. Okay. Another piece of evidence. There's 26 minutes of footage where people seeing this guy. Gun wasn't at the ready. He wasn't going to shoot nobody. He was going up walls. He was in plain clothes. Okay. They have footage, and cops were not going to do anything about it. No one contacted nobody. The cop didn't say, hey, I got a shooter on the roof. Can somebody give me authorization? Is he a shooter? Is he a cop? What is he? No one did that. No one did that at all. And I'm not a sniper, but I was trained in the military, just like you gentlemen were. Okay. We know something about the art of sniping. All the snipers were faced that way. You see on every piece of footage, everything. They were still set up facing that way. You can't tell me these guys were trained that they didn't see somebody moving. A leaf would fall and catch these gentlemen's eye from 500 yards. This shot was set up from about 150 yards. Okay, it didn't take a veteran to make that because we could have made that. All right, this kid was a shooter. He went to the range. He followed things online. Okay, now I know what you're saying. And also, he has no problem. He didn't get mad. He didn't say anything online. They can't find anything online. But what he did do, he went to one of these conventions and was yelling at the Republican table. All Republicans ought to have their throat slit. I hate them. I hate Republicans. They ought to have their throat slit. I don't believe he was a Republican giving money to a liberal organization. That don't happen. I think that this guy's not a scapegoat. I think he was sending her to do that. And it caught President Biden off guard. President Biden thought he was going to be killed. And we got up there. That's why he didn't have nothing to say at first. It's like, still alive. I think it was a setup deal. And this is my opinion on the W radio show that I own. It's my opinion. I think it was a setup deal that went wrong. That's where I'm at. Now, we can argue all we want to. Your guys' way is correct. Your way is correct. You can't prove I'm not right. Everything I said happened. But I just think they wanted to do it because they didn't want to give him any more protection. They want to pull it away from him in order for him to get killed. And then they come out later on and tell us back in 2020 or something, the Iranians were going to put a hit on him, which is still in effect, by the way. I guess it's still in effect.
Yeah, it's still there. They brought that up in the investigation that's going on, that there was.
We never heard nothing about that until this happened. Did you know that before he was shot?
I vaguely remember that being talked about when Trump put the order out to kill their head Iranian leader over there with a drone attack. I forgot his name now.
Soleimani.
Yeah,
so Soleimani was in charge of the Quds force.
Yes.
Yeah, Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
But yeah, and they did a drone strike on him, and after that, the Iranians put a bounty out on Trump to get him assassinated. So anyway,
and that come to find out they had nothing to do with each other. The gentleman was it Crooks, Timothy Matthew Crooks.
Well, they tried to connect it to a political thing. I mean, his dad is a he's a Democrat, but Crooks is a Democrat, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Republican, registered Republican. Dad's a Democrat. Mom was a Libertarian. They found out that Crooks made a $15 donation to the Democratic Party.
Which turned out to be a liberal party, actually.
With liberal party, yeah. Ooh, boy, there's a big.
There's a lot of money.
Yeah, there's a big donor there on that. Yeah, I thought, okay.
Case of water for somebody.
Yeah, there you go. I thought, well, boy, yeah, that really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my philosophy.
But anyway,
we'll never know the truth. If my philosophy is correct, we'll never know it. It'll never come out.
They'll let us know what they want us to know.
That's right. Anyway, listen, I'm glad he wasn't killed.
I'm glad he's alive. It's a shame it happened.
And I don't want nobody retaliating.
Don't go out, burn buildings down in cars, and
don't try to shoot. Don't try to shoot Biden, and then just don't do that.
Yeah, stop.
That gives us all a bad name. Damn, guys, come on. You guys are preaching unity. This ain't unity.
No.
Some innocent guy had to die because this kid was mad at Orange Man. Come on. Trivia question, real quick, guys. All you out there,
trivia.
Get your fingers ready. BJ, the guys. I don't know where Dean is, but he'll come in here in a minute. Trivia question. Where was Ronald Reagan's wife born? Now, I say it like that. You got to figure out what I'm talking about. Where?
Which one?
You already know where we're going with this. He has two wives.
I need to know.
Since he let it out of the bag.
That's going to be.
Since he let it out of the bag, he had two wives.
Yes.
Give you a hint. One of his wives was born right here in the state of Missouri.
Yeah, right over here, St. Joe. Her dad used to be chief of police.
Yeah, that's all we're going to say because I don't want to give it away. But that's true. She's born in St. Joe, Missouri. What is her name? Famous actress.
Yes, she was an actress, by the way. His first wife.
His first wife was a trick. Okay. And
Yes.
she got a couple of his kids.
Yes.
So while you're all doing that, I'm reading BJ's comment here. It says, may I point out that they asked Nancy Pelosi for more protection on Jan 6, and she denied it. Too. If knew the agendas of some of these people in the positions of power, we would not sleep at night. Yes. That's my problem. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
Yes.
Jane Wyman was born in St. Joe, Missouri. Famous actress back in the time.
Yes.
Okay? She died after he died.
Yes. Yes.
She
Jane
came
Wyman
to his
died.
funeral.
Yes, she did.
So for somebody divorced, she sure came to his funeral.
And her and Nancy Reagan were good friends.
So there you go. If that ain't getting along, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I can't tell you. Yeah.
Okay. Jane, there you go. So who got the BJ, right?
BJ got that.
Yeah, BJ got
She
that.
gets the points. Woo! Way to go, BJ.
She might win this thing.
She might. She's on a roll here. Look at this.
She got both answers correct, so I'm gonna
Wow.
give her 50 points. Well, she wins it. I just hand it to her.
There you go.
Okay. Now we got this. Again, we got this deal over here from my brother. I'm going to put that in the mystery box. So the mystery box ain't that big, so that'll have to be a
Take another
separate.
look at this.
That'll have to be a separate deal. Yeah, look at that.
Look at that.
He got an eagle.
That's nice. Got an eagle on top there.
And this is burnt. Not only is it burnt one side, he burned both sides of
Both
it.
sides.
This happens to be Marines because I'm a Marine, but he does all of them, as you see.
I'm sorry.
There you go. See that glaring on there.
There you go. Look at that. I love the eagle up above the
that eagle up there.
the
is
Marine
cool.
emblem. That's cool.
We're trying to be as careful as we
Okay.
can not to break that.
Yes, we don't want to
And
break
it's
it.
got, and it also has its own little pedestal.
Yes, yes.
Is that the
Got-
term, pedestal?
Yeah, got a little holder there for it.
Yeah, a little holder.
Ain't that cool?
And he
Thank you
does
very
all
much.
kinds of those for all different kinds of people. So look up Dale Baldwin. Dale Baldwin on Facebook. He has, you can't miss it. It's got like the rebel flag thing on it.
No,
And he
you
also
can't
says
to Eric
redneck
Baldwin.
a-hole. I mean, there's only one redneck a-hole on Facebook. He'll answer on that one too. Hit him up. He'll work you a deal, try to get going there. All right, let's get back to Mike here. Our buddy, our power friend.
Yes, yes.
What do you guys got coming up over there? Or have you got anything spectacular happen with your organization? Warrior Ascent, by the way. Guys, go online and check out Warrior Ascent. Mike will tell you how to get a hold of them.
Yeah, so just go to warriorsascent.org, and I'll say all roads lead to our website. So, from there, hey, you can see what we're all about. Again, YouTube channel as well. We just had a great golf scramble at Fort Leavenworth. So, hey, if you didn't, you missed it if you weren't there. But, hey, next year we run it same time-ish, mid-July. It's at Leavenworth Trails West Golf Course. It's where Eisenhower used to golf, right? But
yeah,
there you go.
Kansas City Friends of Special Operations Golf Scramble.
Nice.
So
nice.
My former boss, Jim Tennant, great American SF Colonel, he's the deputy director for the Combined Arms Center Special Operations Directorate. And then another friend of mine, Colonel Mike DiPolo, who's the director. He's going to be retiring soon. I'll say, sponsor us, and by rights, Warrior Ascent has to be the one that runs it for, obviously legal reasons.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes.
But Jim, he envisioned this as really bringing the special operations student body, because we bring the special operations students that are coming through the Command General Staff College out to golf with us. And that way we bring the special operations students and the business community together, and do some fundraising and golfing, for our organization. So that was phenomenal. We just had Rob Collins, news anchor, jump in tandem with Falcon skydiving. We were in the news last night. John Holton and Rob kind of gave us a shout out at 9.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
So that was great. But he's a great friend. So it was just a great event. So great fundraising, great awareness. We always bring our alum out to kind of just tell the story of Warrior Ascent and what the program has done to help them. So just it's so great.
That is so awesome.
And I'll say some modest fundraising as well.
That's
so
awesome.
That in terms of fundraising, we've got our celebration dinner in November. Again, go to the website. No one's going to remember the dates, the times, the places.
Yes.
No.
But it'll be at Jack Stack. This year was at Arrowhead. We've done it the last couple of years. That's always been good, but we've kind of somewhat outgrown that venue. So that's in November, kind of right around, the week, of Veterans Day, so to just kind of, plant the flag there. So that's going to be great. And then we've got, I'll say 3 more cohorts, 3 more classes. And actually, I'll say we've got 4 more, because what we're doing is we've made some adjustments at the behest of, I'll say some, potential clients and sponsors. And our 5-day program is really the core of what it is that we do. That's what the study was done on. We've got, a lot of experience with that. But a lot of people have said to us, hey, if you could condense it to kind of appeal to people for whom 5 days might be a barrier to entry. It's like, how about like a 2-day, a 1.5 day? And while I feel that to be somewhat suboptimal, because it's already very condensed, but we're like, all right, we can do that metacognitive piece, front load that, assume some risk with maybe some of the bonding, right? The group therapeutic, because you can only coalesce as a group so much in 1 day, or 2 days versus 5 days. So that's another thing. We'll do that end of October, early November. So our last cohort straddles October, November, and we'll run 2 2-day cohorts. So that's kind of exciting. This will be the second iteration. We've already run one to kind of validate it. We did a beta, and it was well received. So we'll do it again. So that's what we have coming up, in terms of the programmatics and various other things. So
that's excellent.
Yeah.
Golf goes well. It just does.
Yeah.
My wife used to work at the Veterans Home here in Cameron, and they hosted one every year, and that thing was just massive.
Oh yeah,
It's just massive.
My cadets and I went out there and did the color guard this year for the for the golf tournament out there at the Veterans Memorial Golf Course, and boy, that big crowd out there that day swinging golf clubs.
It is.
And it was a beautiful day for it too.
She's had some special people show up maybe before out there. Maybe a couple athletes. There was a couple people. There was some actors that showed up.
Yeah.
There was a martial artist, and I'm kind of mad because I'm a martial artist. I didn't get to go out and meet the guy. We could have been over on the side, sparring or something. But no, my wife, they go out there, they'd run through cases of steaks, and cases of burgers. It was just an amazing thing. So golf does go well.
So another thing I'll throw out to you. So we do Leadville. So one of our biggest fundraisers as well is the Leadville Trail Marathon. So there's another Army Colonel, Tony Hoffman, right? Army engineer, retired. He's a West Point guy, year group 91. He is what we call the CMO, the Chief Motivation Officer, right? For Team Leadville. And what we do is he'll recruit a bunch of crazies to go out and run the Leadville Trail Marathon, end heavy half. So Leadville, Colorado, highest incorporated city in the contiguous United States. So the race starts at 10,000 and goes up to 13,000 feet. So I've run the half piece, the 15.5, not the full marathon, but I'll tell you that the difference maker is the lack of air.
I think say at 10,000, it's getting kind of thin up there.
10,013, let me tell you, you start getting a little hypoxic and losing, So that makes it hard. So, there's the mileage, there's the conditioning, and then there's just the that going on. So we do that.
Snakes on a plane with Samuel Jackson and stuff. You don't know what you'd be thinking.
So, I throw it out to if anybody wants to accompany us next year, because really the moneymaker for us is, here's how it works. If you run, we expect you to raise funds. So if you're going to run and be a member of Team Leadville, it's with the understanding that you're going to raise, $1,000 to $2,000. We do that with Classy, which is a crowd sourcing software as a service program. So you reach out to your network, you say, come support me. And we aggregate that underneath the overarching Leadville campaign. We made $130,000 through Team Leadville's great efforts this year.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep. So hey, shout out anyone wants to challenge themselves. Be
there you
part
go.
of Team Leadville.
Yeah.
Go to the website, ping me. Well, I'll hook you up with Coach Hoffman, Chief Motivation Officer, and we'll bring you into the fold. You could do your mileage. You pay your penance now or later.
He sounds
like to 13,000 feet.
Yeah, he sounds like an old PE teacher. Coach Hoffman. He sounds like an old PE teacher. Right. Yeah. That's all, man. That's all excellent. Being part of an organization that helps a lot of veterans. like we do. We appreciate gentlemen like you who do big volume help is what we call it. Now, I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just big volume. You guys do a great job at it. And I'm proud to be associated with some of those, like Veterans Community Project. We're going to perform for them. I'd love to come in and perform for you guys and with you guys for comedy. And I got a lot of veterans that are, well, in fact, everybody except one guy who performs with us is a veteran of the U.S. military. We got one guy that's not, Roy Anthony, but he's a good, funny dude.
Oh, he's funny.
He's a host on here on Tuesdays and Thursdays. He'll be back, I think, starting next week on running his show out until we're done. But so if you and I can talk off camera, about that.
Absolutely.
We'd love to do that. I've been involved with. I've had cities call us, little bitty towns nobody's ever heard of, say they want to do fairs. I'm thinking, okay, I don't care if there's one or two people, as long as there's a veteran or somebody needs some help, and you'd be surprised how many people come out for these little shows.
Oh, they do.
Take the what's that little Kidder?
Take the Kidder picnic.
Yeah, take that thing.
Oh man, they go all out.
They go. I mean, my goodness. And we performed on stage several times for them, and had a good crowd.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's where they got that bench we made for you guys was there. We gave it over there. And so Commander and I are both in the business of helping. And we just don't help veterans. We want to put this out there. We'll help anybody. 22 veterans a day commit suicide in this country. Some numbers are 45 if you count the guys getting ready to
count
get
all
out.
the other things that the VA starting to add into that equation.
And people coming in, people going out of the military. Okay. You know what's behind? What's the second most group of suicide rate is?
First responders.
No. Teens.
Teen suicide.
12 teens a day commit suicide in this country.
Jeez.
And I have talked to some schools, and I was proud to do that. We got a different culture gap, but I was proud to talk to them.
Yeah.
And every one of them, we start talking about the teen suicide. All of them would come afterwards. Hey, I got a friend. I use laughter to save his life. Thank you for what you're doing. I mean, I got kids thanking me, for life isn't even over with yet, And there's a lady online, which I don't get this, but there's a lady online who was sued by the bully's mother. Her daughter hung herself. Being bullied and hung herself. The judge heard the case of the bully's mother and put a sanction on the victim's mom, so she can't put anything on Facebook, can't talk about it, can't do anything. Well, that wouldn't have been me. That'd have been like, yeah, right. Okay, judge. Yeah. Get on out of here. So mass amount of people was talking and stuff like that. But that thing you hold in your hand, and teens, I know you're watching. I know some kids watch me, like, later on after supper. That thing you're holding in your hand. Yes, that phone is an important tool. It really is. But it could be a negative tool as well. It could be a harmful tool. Shut that thing off and don't care what nobody says.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this to you. It's not rude. It's just how I talk. Those are punks. They know nothing about life. Okay. I mean, you got a small little portion of your life at school. The rest of it's long. You got a lot of time. I've seen people make fun of somebody in school, then they become a gas attendant pumping gas.
Mm-hmm.
And you're out there doing some other stuff, making more money than they are. That happens a lot. Okay. A lot of times bullies they're self-conscious about themselves. They don't like themselves. There's something wrong with them. Don't worry about that. If you're out there today, teens, listen to it. What the three of us talking about. We're your military men. We're trained to protect. That is our mission in life. We will lay down our lives for you. Do us a favor. Stop all that 12 a day. We don't want 22 a day. We don't want the 12 a day. And first responders, he's close. They're third.
Yep.
Okay. They're like 10 or 11 a day. We need everybody. If this shooting the other night didn't teach us anything, there's a silver line in everything you do. Okay. This taught us how far apart we are. And it taught us the journey that needs to get back to being closer. You don't have to like each other all the time. You don't have to like everything everybody does. Yeah, it's impossible to have that dream and to think that everybody's going to like you for everything. It's impossible. Are Democrats, Republicans, and liberals and independents going to argue? Yes. That's what they're supposed to do. We don't want everybody the same. But we don't need to kill each other either. Listen, if you're a Democrat out there, me and Democrats, I already don't like Democrats. Some of my in-laws are. But if you're hungry, I'll feed you. If you need shoes, I'll reach in my pocket and pay for shoes. And I'd hope to God you do the same thing for me if I was ever in a time of need. That's where we're at.
Exactly.
If we're not there, guys, we need to get back here. And Mike, man, I forgot about you for some years. I apologize. I didn't really forget about you. I just couldn't find you on my phone one day. I go down, oh, here he is right here. Man, I'm glad just take it from the veterans. We appreciate
you. Yeah.
What you do. We know you're a veteran, but we appreciate everything you do for us and everything you do for those that need help. And I know you help people that are poor. You help people that got money. You help people of all race, creed, colors, and religions. We thank you for that. I don't know your age. I don't want to know your age. You can give me your age if you want to. That's your business. I'll get mine out. I don't care. But thank you very much for what you do. And I'm serious. I would love the honor of bringing comedy vets in your location and perform for you guys. Help you raise some money, big money, little money. It don't matter how many, hopefully make big money, but whatever. But
that'd be wonderful, brother. We'll figure something out. Like I said, we'll talk offline and maybe even our celebration dinner if it fits in the program.
I did a lot of dinners and a show. That's a very popular thing. Dinner and a movie. I'd be the movie, I guess.
Hopefully not the dinner.
No, since I last talked to you, I lost 45 pounds. So I'm really, I'm down quite a bit. I still look too thick, and I am too thick, but I'm getting down, losing weight. So everybody's like, well, how strenuous is your work? I said, I hold a microphone. Really?
Yeah.
How strenuous? I sweat setting stuff up. What, are you kidding me? That's the hardest work I got, setting up all my equipment. That's the hardest thing I got. But I went back into construction work. I'm doing stuff on the side. So got to keep going, man. Got to keep going. Got to keep life.
Got to keep plugging.
You do. Tell us, what's the most famous person that you've met in Warrior Ascent or yourself?
I'll say this. I used to box for West Point.
Okay.
So, won the brigade championship a couple times. It was like
nice.
Eastern regional champ.
Make sure you pay him.
Okay.
Hey. No, and then we went to Downtown Athletic Club in New York. So for the returning champions, we would fight, and it was like Night of Champions. And I get in the elevator, and who gets in the elevator with me and the West Point boxing team? It's Joe Frazier.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
That's top.
Oh, that's it. That's top notch.
So we're like, holy cow! It's smoking Joe Frazier. Yeah, and I'll tell some of my sons, I coach football. I'm not a football player, but they're like, hey, come out and help coach. You can do the conditioning. I'm like, I can do that. But I'll tell my Joe Frazier story. People roll their eyes. They're like, please, we don't want to hear Joe Frazier story again. But we're like, one of my boxing teammates, Chris Mendez, he asked me, he goes, Mr. Frazier, do you have any advice for any young up and coming boxers? And of course I cleaned it up. Right. But Joe Frazier's like, yeah, he says, no women. That's not what he said, but he's like, no women at least 8 weeks before match. And I'm we're all like, all right, Mr. Frazier. We were thinking, hey, come in crouch, roll the Philly roll, the Philly shell, and hook. That was
keep that hand just right.
Yeah.
Is I'm thinking he's going to give us some technical, pointers, and he's just like, yeah, don't. No women 8 weeks before, and we were like,
leave the ladies alone.
And it was like, hey, at West Point, Mr. Frazier, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I'll tell my players, it's just like, hey man, don't be messing with the ladies. I need you to be locked in. Locked in is what the EMT say now.
Smoking Joe.
Locked in. No, so Smoking Joe Frazier, and then did you follow UFC at all?
I was a UFC fighter.
Okay, so BJ Penn.
Yep.
He came out to First Special Forces Group and trained us up. So I got to wrestle BJ Penn.
Okay.
Didn't go well for me. No, I mean, Navy was great. He was like, hey, anyone want to wrestle? And it was like, it's like petting a tiger,
Yeah.
Like, I'll wrestle you, BJ, but hey, we're just practice, right? You're not going to beat me up.
Yeah, just practice.
No, that guy he's a killer, So I got to meet, and wrestle and get trained by BJ Penn. That was
that's nice. That's nice. The most famous person I ever met. Well, we could argue over how you meet him. I mean, I've met Chiefs football players. I went and talked to some of them. I imitate Patrick Mahomes. I do his voice. And I met him. He's like, yeah. But I think the most famous guy I ever met, boy, it's gonna be hard. I think Ken Shamrock.
That's cool.
I fought at St. Joe Civic Arena
Okay.
And he was one of the guys. He was a special guest there, and he came back and prayed with us and stuff. And this guy's a totally different man than what he is when he's being interviewed and getting ready to fight. Totally, dude, nice guy. Hey, you guys all right? You need mouthpieces? I'll go buy a bunch of mouthpieces and bring them over here.
Yeah.
Just good guy. And I've met, because of MMA, I've met Steve Blackman back in the day. I don't even remember Steve Blackman. I've met Dan Severance. That guy's big.
The Beast.
They call him the Beast for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've met Tank Abbott. Okay.
Yeah,
And they were getting ready. When I was going out, I was getting ready to fight Kimbo Slice. Now, I never stood face to face with him. I was getting ready to. And if I beat Kimbo Slice, they were going to have me fight Brock Lesnar. Yeah.
Seriously. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was going to fight him, but he took the Corwin fight. Okay. And I never did get a fight. There go my brain again. Anyway, Kimbo. I never did get a fight Kimbo, and then when we got ready to fight, he ended up dying. Okay. So
Kimbo died?
Yeah, Kimbo Slice died. Yeah, he died. I don't remember what up, but he died. So I was all excited, boy. I was training real hard, and I was good. I mean, I left people in my wake. I had 6 fights in a row where people left on an ambulance. Okay.
Jeez, man.
Right out of the ring. But I never fought in MMA, that league. I was always doing like King of the Ring or smaller.
Still,
but
jeez.
they were trying to make me a name, and stuff. And it didn't. And then I ended up fighting a guy, and good fighter, good guy. And then I lost my last fight. My last fight, I was 42 years old and was still fighting in the cage and winning.
That's old to be fighting, brother.
Yeah,
that's what they say. But I was winning.
It's a younger man's game, man.
And what is, a younger man beat me up. Okay. He really put it on me. He was 24 years old. But he got up and he goes, "There's no way you're 42 years old." He come up later on and he's hugging on me. He goes, "You are a bad man." He goes, "Let me see your driver's license." I showed him. He goes, he said, "Man, I hope I hit as hard as you do at 42. My goodness," he said, "one more punch and I'd have been sleeping." And well, we can get back in there and restart the bell. But so yeah, at 42 years old, I was still fighting. I quit because my wife told me she wanted me to remember my grandkids' names. I met these little dudes, and I tell you what. but now I didn't have a whole bunch of them by then, but now we got 12 of them, 12 grandkids, and my wife just had one. Not my wife, my daughter just had one. My daughter just had one.
You hold that on me there, buddy.
My wife can't have any at all.
I mean, do you have like a wrestling and a boxing background? I mean,
I got the traditional. I'm traditional martial arts. I studied 6 styles of martial arts over in my life. 3 of them I can't use in the cage because they're Krav Maga, Marine Corps line, which that's a dead.
No, dude, we did that. A guy named Don Vito.
Yeah, and
that's in special forces. Yeah, then we did jujitsu and all that.
Well, see, I had Krav Maga, which you can't use in a cage. Line, most of that stuff you can't use in the cage either. But I did study Kenpo. That was my main one. I studied Kenpo for a long time.
Believe it or not, I did Kenpo when I was a kid. Yeah,
so Kenpo. Now I do judo, Goshin judo, and Goshin jujitsu.
Okay.
And then American freestyle karate, which I used a lot of that in the cage. I mean, I did a lot of stand, a lot of kicks and stuff like that. So I had a traditional background. And then my son won trophies wrestling. Okay. And so I taught him how to wrestle first, and he just took off. I mean, his dad told him, hell, he got into good guys, and he kept winning. My son, matter of fact, went to the same college as Bobby Lashley from the WWE, the wrestler Bobby Lashley. Look him up. Big old giant dude. Bobby, him and my son went to the same school there in Central Missouri. So yeah, pretty good play. But that's a little bit of my history. But and plus I got a lot of street fights and arrested a bunch of times, and judges didn't like me, and cops didn't like me for that matter either. That's why I got a reputation of where I am. But I mean, I married a beautiful woman, and she calmed me down a lot. And plus, I went to the VA and got checked out. I tell you what, guys, don't be afraid to get help. I'm as macho as they come, as tough as they come. And in 2009, I was losing my family. My kids wasn't getting along. They were moving out. My wife was still around me, because she liked veterans, but she was, she came to me and she goes, "Honey, you're losing your family. You need to go get checked out." Well, I figured I knew I had PTSD, because if you scream around me, it alerts me. I might holler back, or I try to hold it back, but I can't all the time. I got to tell the kids, be quiet. It's not fair to the kids not to be kids. Right. But damn it, you know how it works. PTSD. I can't control it. This comes upon you, right? So I knew I had that, but I went and got checked out because my wife asked me to, and I get into VA and had this guy named Dr. DeMark. He was like 6'9", but he's about 18 inches wide. Okay, real long guy. Yeah,
tall, skinny
guy. Yeah.
Beanpole.
And I was real paranoid at that time. You couldn't go in behind me. You had to go in front of me when we went into a room. Okay, I was real paranoid. And so he figured that out. He went in and I went in and I looked around, make sure nobody was in there, and sat down. And I tell this part because this is kind of funny. He had 2 packets in front of him. Okay, the first one he was talking to me about things, and then he put his hand on my hand. He said, "Do you feel like committing suicide?" I said, "No, I feel like killing other people." So he switched packets. He literally went, "Okay, next packet." And we got to talking, and I was making him laugh. He goes, "You ought to be performing." I said, "I do. But I was in a bad time in my life, and I quit for a while. Comedy." He goes, "The first thing you need is get back into that because that's great. You know, comedy is just amazing." And so I started going to the VA, and then I ended up getting diagnosed with the PTSD and paranoia, a little bit of OCD. Okay, and they said I was bipolar, which not really sure. But bipolar and PTSD can be misdiagnosed because a lot of things are close together.
They're so close together, they're interwoven in there.
Interwoven. And so they went the whole route about, you know, they didn't take anything away from me. They didn't take away my guns. They didn't take away my knives. They didn't take away any of that. They said, "Fact, we don't want to let you feel like you can't defend yourself. That's wrong. That's not what we're here to do." And I'm trained with them, so I'm no threat to anybody to crawl inside of a building and shoot the president. That's not me. Mine's defense. Okay. So they evaluated me over and over and over and over again, and that's what they come up with. So they put my medication. Now, there's a lot of people that argue medication is not the way to go. Some is the way to go. I'm going to tell you this. The medicine has helped me tremendously. Okay. At first, they didn't have it right. Okay. They had wrong doses here, not enough here. But that's time. They got to figure it out. So I was patient and let them figure it out. Okay. And they tested me. And finally, they got everything where it was right. But I was still going to jail at the time. I was trying to get through all my legal issues and not go to jail. I mean, I told the judge I'd drink him over the counter and beat the hell out of him. You can't say that.
No, they frowned on that.
Yeah, they frown heavily on it. You shouldn't say that. That's not something you go to court.
That's not wise.
You can't go into a courthouse and act a fool and expect to get away with it. That just ain't gonna happen. But see, I got all my legal stuff behind me, and I started taking this medication, and I was struggling for a bit. But finally, they got the dose right, man, and it really did help me. And then they figured out later on in the years, I'm more PTSD than I am bipolar. I got more PTSD than other things. Now they're hinting on some other things with me, but they've never proven anything. The only thing they know is I'm paranoid. I'm still a little bit paranoid. That was the hardest thing to get over, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Because every time I go to a restaurant, I had to sit a certain way, and I had to know everybody coming in, and my life was very affected by that.
I like to set where I can see who's coming in to my front, not come up behind me.
So my wife and I developed a technique. If I go into a restaurant around this time, I sit my back to the window. Okay. She'll say somebody's walking by. I know that, so I'm okay. I don't have these hairs on the back of my neck sticking no more. Or if we're sitting in the middle, in the center of the room, which I don't like to sit in the center of the room. I don't, but I do it because it's good to work on that stuff. My wife will say, "Waitress." Now, all she got to do is say a waitress. I know she's coming up on me. Okay. I did Warrior Fest. That's one of our big events we used to do on here. Warrior Fest. When we was in Misfits Bar and Grill in Blue Springs, Missouri. And this one waitress kept coming up, she kept startling me. I mean, she'd just come up and she'd say something right about here where I couldn't see her. Startle me. One of the other waitresses says, "Hey, these guys are all veterans. Whistle, click your feet, something." So no. And once she figured that out, we had no problem. And man, they were all great. I didn't want her to alter her life totally.
Right.
Just let me know so I could alter my life according to her. And so the VA really, really helped me out a lot. Now, they did some bad things to me. They made me diabetic. I have now got a death sentence on me. Okay. We're just arguing over when I'm going to die. Things like that. And, they say I can't be cured, which, whatever. But so that's a little bit about how I got to where I was gotten. I mean, I was going to jail. I was crapping in cop cars. This is a fact. This is a true story. I took a big old crap in a cop car, one time and stuff. By the way, thank you, Dean, for showing up, buddy.
Yay, Dean.
Go back and look at some of the memes, you'll die. And guys like you help guys like me, and then we start to get a camaraderie. Before you know it, people are like, "Hey, didn't you help that comedian guy?
Yeah.
Well, help me too, man." He's, and so it's kind of a long story, but I want to tell you a little bit about my background, and I appreciate the hell out of what you do, Mike. I really do.
Yeah, it is
Absolutely.
awesome.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, Dean still suffers from PTSD as well. His wife and kids scared the hell out of him because they're walking behind him all the time. When my wife and I first was dating and got married, she'd walk into the room. She could walk down the hallway, right? I'd be sleeping. I'd sit up and look at her. She thought that was creepy, but I couldn't hardly sleep because I had to have a dog. I mean, I love Rottweilers. I have a Rottweiler who would eat you if you come near me. And I had to have dogs around me, things to protect me, let me know somebody's coming. And I used to sit up and freak her out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't do it now. Now I'm sleeping. Hit my fat ass. I'm over and sleep. I ain't mess with you, woman. So that's a little bit about what us and some of the things. And then I was a comedian a long time ago, and then I quit for a while. I was married to not a very good woman at first. Then I married this one. But Jeff Onyx, I give Jeff Onyx a lot of credit. Jeff Onyx got me back into comedy. Jeff Onyx is a great guy.
He's awesome.
He's the commander of Comedy Vets, the regional commander, or national commander of Comedy Vets. And my friend Taifu Panda kept me in it. May he rest in peace. He kept me in it. And so that's a little bit about your boy here. And I hope I didn't bore the hell out of you, but I wanted to tell the story. These things work. We start making people laugh because we know medicine don't work for some people. Mm-hmm. We know the VA's got a cookie cutter way of doing things. Sometimes people need more than that. And sometimes they need comedy. Sometimes they need music. That's what we're here for.
Right. I mean, I'd say community. That's the other thing, knowing that they're not alone. So many people isolate. We run into all the time, man, is the modalities that we teach. Yeah, that's important. But so many people are like, man, hey, I've been seeing a therapist for months, if not years, and it's been helpful. But this is different, being around other dudes very much like me, who when I say, this is what I'm dealing with, this is what I'm contending with, they're like, no, I get you, man. I feel the same thing. And they're like, really? Yeah, you're not alone. That's important, is that validation, that like authentic, yeah, no, I get you.
Mm-hmm. That you're not the only one out there.
Yeah, you're not alone in your suffering, as they say, because so many people feel like I'm the only one. No one gets me. The other one that's, I'd say, less intuitive, but just as powerful is, we'll get guys that are, hey, Marine Scout Sniper, or, Airborne Ranger, whatever. And those dudes will be like, hey, I'm really struggling. And then there'll be a lot of dudes are like, oh, so I'm not the only one. I'm not, quote unquote, the weak one. There's so many dudes that I think, hey, if I were tougher, I wouldn't be feeling this way. And it's like, that's not it, brother.
No,
that is not it.
I mean,
that's totally the other side of the coin.
I mean, look, I'm an MMA fighter. I live in the country. I cut wood. I run axes. I train dogs. I fight. So
no, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you see a dude like you and you're like, this guy, I mean, he doesn't shy away from that stuff. He's a tough dude. And I'm telling you, you may not think that's important, but there are dudes that are like, oh my God, so if that guy's dealing with it, all right, I'm not, just, weak, or I can't hang, or that's not it at all. It's like, no, man, you see bad stuff happens to you, and the other thing too, we see it all the time. You get some people, they were in the thick of it. There are others, they just, like, especially with our first responders, they just see bad stuff. Day in, day out.
Absolutely.
There's a difference. I mean, the pressure from a soldier, what he goes through, and he sees a little bit of combat, and he sees this, and and how he's trained, it really gets to him. First responder doesn't really go into combat per se, have people shoot back at him, but they see car wrecks, they see decapitations, they see people's bodies ripped open, and the things they got to see.
When you get a call in that you've got to respond to an accident that is a serious or a fatality, you've got a certain amount of time while you're en route, to get as much information through dispatch to you as possible, to where you can start to mentally prepare yourself for what you're about ready to walk up on, but you're never really fully ready to see what you're going to walk up on, because they're all different.
Especially if a child involved.
I quit. I resigned Father's Day of '82 because I swore I would never pick up another child as long as I drew a breath, and I walked away from it. And it was on Father's Day of '82. Never again.
No. Guys, we're at the end of our show, man.
Darn, that went quick.
You guys go back and listen out there. If you want a donation or make a donation to Mike, tell them how to make. If they want to make a donation to you and your outfit, tell them how to do it, please.
Absolutely. Just go to warriorsascent.org and you'll say, hey, if you want to sign up for the program, if you're somebody that might need to avail themselves of what it is that we do, veteran, first responder, you can get on the website and then apply. And then you'll see the other button will say donate. If you want to donate, there it is.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
Nice. Guys, if you want to donate to us right here, top of our screen, there's a QR code. Please click on that. If you can afford a little bit of money, we appreciate it. That being said, guys, listen, we're not going to give much closing today like we normally do. We're just going to say this. Knock it off. Quit it. As to say in my native language, hesty. It means quit it. We need to steer more positive thoughts. I'm not saying you got to like everybody. That's not what I'm saying. We don't need to just kill people because we disagree with them. I know the thoughts pass through some of our heads, but we let it go, right? This is a very trying time coming up. The elections are now amping up. They're going full tilt. Both candidates have vice presidents. You're going to hear a lot of things from both camps. Do your research before you believe what you hear. I'm a Trump fan, but Trump's he hadn't been exactly honest in some of his stuff, and in Biden's camp, he hadn't been honest in some of his stuff. Okay, but that's not up to me to tell you. I want you to research it yourself. But let's not shoot each other.
Yeah,
we've had too much in this country. Not just presidents. I'm tired of turning on my YouTube or my Facebook or TV, and there's a mass shooting going on. Mass shooters. Listen, if you're out there going to be thinking you're going to be a mass shooter, you're going to die.
Yeah,
the odds of you living are not very high. You will be shot too. Okay, you might go in and do your little thing, but what's it proving? It just proves that we're farther apart. You're not going to bring anybody together by shooting somebody else in a mass bunch of people. Okay, your name ain't going to go down in history as a hero. All right, John Wilkes Booth is not a hero. He's an interesting read. Okay, because you learn about him and what happened, but he's not a hero. And you know how he was killed? He was hiding out in a freaking barn like an animal, and they killed him. He died on the front steps of a house, if I believe that's correct.
Yeah,
okay.
Front steps.
Okay. Where's the hero status there? He didn't get a chance to get old with his kids, be a grandfather. Lincoln died because of somebody's belief, not knowing that America was changing and needed to change. Not on a soapbox. Not gonna try to tell you all what to do. You're all grown people. But there's guys out there that can help you. We don't want the 22 a day. We don't. We're tired of it. And when him and I figured out now it's close to 45, we're like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a sobering thought.
We're close friends here with Mike Kinney. The show's close friends with Mike Kinney. He comes on here and he tells you about what he can do for you. Take advantage of that opportunity. Take advantage of it. Hell, I got him on my phone, Mike Kinney on my phone. If I want to text him, I'm free to text Mike.
Yeah. Okay. We're always telling you, if you call us, we'll listen. Okay, here's somebody else that will listen.
Yeah.
Call.
We put our money where our mouth is.
Yep.
Okay. So that being said, we got things coming up. Mow your yard. Get out and do something. Isolation is not good.
No.
It's not good for any veteran, and it's not good for anybody. Okay? It's not good. Isolation is not good. Get out and do something. I know people don't want to go to events because they're afraid of getting shot at. I get that. That is a real issue. But the odds are in your favor that you won't. Okay. That being said, on behalf of Mike Kinney, on behalf of the commander, I'm Richard Redneck Tape King, bad man of comedy. Saying until we meet again, take care of yourselves. Dona Dagahoy. Ost Usvi. You guys take care of yourselves. We're out. Have your pet spayed or neutered, by the way, okay?
Oh, yes. Make Bob Barker happy.
Make Bob Barker happy. We love